hard to get organized. There's still people coming in, and we're actually still waiting on 2 speakers that are on with the event now. So there's an old Chinese saying. It's actually a curse, and it says, "May you live in interesting times." There's no doubt we are living in interesting times. I would love to live in a time where things in this country were going so well for people that we didn't have to get up and have rallies like this and show up at events and marching in the streets and things like that. This clearly is not one of those times, and as a student of history, you kind of realize that those times never exist. That the only time positive change has ever happened in this country is when people have gotten organized and have taken to the streets. So, thank you. I don't think there's any doubt that America's in pretty big trouble right now. We seem to be heading back towards the Gilded Age. If you don't know what that looks like, I suggest you crack open your old textbooks, look in your kids' textbooks. It wasn't a good time. 40% of Americans are living at or near poverty. 60% of Americans have less than $1,000 in the bank. That's one broken car away from a major bankruptcy or crisis. Nowhere is this inequality more clear than in healthcare. We live in the richest country in the world, really the richest country in history, and yet we have 20 million people who have no health insurance at all. We have tens of millions of others who have health insurance, but they can't really afford to use it because their copays and deductibles are so high. These are people that are choosing between paying rent and getting a $700 EpiPen. Right? These are people that are choosing between feeding their children or going to the doctor when they're not feeling well. These are unacceptable choices in a country that is this wealthy. Thank you. Now, I'm really glad we have some media here today. It's really great to see. I wish that our media would also report on those issues of poverty and the struggles of working families half as often as they post on what the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones are. We'd have people in the streets every day. We need to fight to keep that no matter what. There are millions of people that have health care now because they can go on their parents' health care until they're 27. The other major thing that it did is it protected people with pre-existing conditions. God forbid a sick person has the audacity to use their health insurance. That's the end of their health insurance. That being said, the ACA did not go as far as many of us would have liked. It certainly didn't make health care a human right. A human right has neither a copay nor a deductible. We are coming at this from a completely different angle. Our position is clear. Health care is a human right. Single payer is a real possibility here in New York. There is a bill right now in Albany. It has already passed the Assembly last year. It will likely pass the Assembly again this year. The problem is state Senate. We need to let our state senators know that they are going to vote for this or they are not going to be our state senators for very much longer. Another one of their favorite lines is they'll be rationing. Now, yeah, so that's a really interesting point, as if 20 million people without any insurance at all isn't rationing. As if people having insurance and not being able to afford to use it isn't a form of rationing. As if your insurance company rejecting your claim because it's going to cost too much isn't rationing. That sounds a hell of a lot like rationing to me. Imagine what would happen if Canada would open up their system to us and said, come to Canada, we'll let you use our single-payer system, it's free. So many people would flood the border, Canada would be building a wall and making America pay for it. There's no denying the facts anymore. The question is, can we make a message that actually wins? Can we overcome the propaganda and the lies? Yes, we can. But we are fighting against a system that is basically a pay-for-play system where they've legalized bribery and the health insurance companies and Big Pharma are buying up legislation. So we're going to have to fight back hard. Are you ready to join with us here in New York and show what we can do?